Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Thanks so much for joining me and all the love you guys have been showing recently. I know I haven't posted in a little while because the weather's been pretty crappy here in New York. Don't mind the fit, trying to stay warm. But today is one of the nicer days, although we're gonna get pounded by a bunch of snow in a couple of minutes here. Figured I'd come out, drive the car a little bit, get the fluids running and speak a little knowledge into the mic on how I got this car. Really was able to afford it and how I saved up for it. I felt like this video was super important. Not a lot of people like to talk about finances. I really couldn't care less because I'm comfortable with where I'm at. Anyways, before we get into the topics I got here on my phone, so you'll have to excuse me. I want to talk about two things. Number one being that you have to be super honest with yourself. If you're gonna go out, buy this car, be like, yeah, you know, I could take a $800 note on and really not think about your situation and how much you make. The only person you're gonna be lying to is yourself, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be going home with your car. The only person that's gonna be looking at the note, paying it, and working all those hours wherever you work is you. It's being honest with yourself. It's getting into cars is many things. You have to compromise stuff. That's how it really goes with a lot of things in life that you really don't need. So even if you don't follow a majority of the tips that I give you guys in this video, which you should, and that's kind of why you're watching, just make sure you're those two things with yourself. We're gonna get into the list here. Saving up for a big down payment and having good credit. Let's talk about credit. Credit is very important. If it's your first purchase like this, it's the start to your financial career, I guess. If your parents were nice enough to put you on their credit card or their bills with your name as like a cosigner or whatever, I don't know the technical term, then you were able to, I guess, reap the benefits of them paying their bills on time and such. Congratulations, you're starting ahead of the whole curve. I personally got my first credit card around 17 or 18. A lot of people are scared of credit cards, but really you just put your necessities, food, gas, bills on them. As long as you live within your means, you'll be all right. Anyways, if your parents did not help you yet, they still have time to be nice enough and help you. They can co-sign your car. That's if you're responsible. Don't screw your parents over. It'll be a really big mess. When it comes to down payments, it's obvious the bigger one you put down, the less money you have to borrow, the less interest you have to pay on that money borrowed, meaning that more of it goes towards the principal of the car, which is the value of the car, instead of just paying off your lender for allowing you to borrow their money. Next up, calculating the consumables. I would say tires, oil change, gas, like a tire change, all four on this car. Unfortunately, you can't go back to front with them. Is going to be more expensive than a car that's got a square setup. So it kind of depends on the car, kind of depends how much you drive it. So these are just kind of things, again, being honest with yourself on how much you're going to use it. The car you're looking at, you want to make sure you're comfortable with doing the work on it. If you're not, watch a lot of videos, see if you could really honestly do it. Because if you can't, that's another expense you're going to have to be looking into. Kind of going off of that, when it comes to oil changes and gas, don't be like, oh, gas, yeah, it's only, I don't know, $3 for right. No regular in these cars. But what's recommended is what you should use. If you're not too sure, look at the manual, watch videos on it. Like I said, just stuff to prepare yourself for the money you're gonna spend and the time you're gonna spend on working on this car and the money you're gonna put into it. These cars drink a lot of gas. And as you go modding cars, obviously they're gonna be less efficient on the road and less reliable. So that means you're gonna have to spend more on gas and more on repairs. If you have yourself a daily, do whatever you gotta do, go to the store. That's perfect. For me, wintertime, perfect. This car sits a majority of the wintertime. Yeah, it sucks for insurance, but I would hate more to be putting 10,000 miles on this car all year round when I could get away with doing 5 and I can enjoy those extra 5 for another year. It bothers me when people say, oh, well, you're garaging your car. Cars are meant to be driven. No, not in this weather, not when it's snowing out, not when there's salt on the road. Now you could argue that you could put winter tires on this and it's a perfect daily. Sure, that's fine. If you want to go ahead and do that with your car, perfectly fine. But I know sets of tires that are more than a beater. There's beaters out there for $1,000. If you don't have money, there's compromise you have to do. Again, if you were making 100 grand, you wouldn't be watching this video. It's going to be way more of a headache crashing this car. In my case, that they don't make anymore. I don't know if parts are really that hard to come by. I don't think with all the chop shops and all that shit going on right now. But crashing this car, being out of this car, this being your only car, now you got to find some other way to work. You got the headache of going through insurance on this car. Or you could just have yourself a $3,000 beater that if you bump into something, it's quick to just pop a new radiator in, get a new hood for $500. It's just logical to me. It doesn't make sense to just drive these all winter long. Yes, once in a while, if you want to take it out on the road, do a little donut or something in a parking lot when it's snowing, that's fun. But the last time I spoke about insurance with this car, I think I said I was paying about $300 a month, which is an insane amount of money. I just needed something to go with when I first got it and kind of stuck with that for like a year, and then I had enough. I shopped around, asked a couple friends what they use, and a lot of them said Hagerty. Got my premium down to like $160 a month with this car, and the only thing that that Hagerty requires is that you have a different car that you daily. So that's another reason why I feel like you should have yourself a beater. The next point I wanted to make was getting good quotes for insurance. Don't go with the first quote you get. If you get $300 a month from Progressive, you go to Allstate, get a quote from them. They'll probably try to beat it. Go to another person, they'll probably try to beat it. But again, these are all things you should be doing ahead of time before you buy the car. So you could compare it to what you're making and you can make your decision from there. And the last part is living within your means. A lot of people, when you first start making money, especially at this age, you want to go out and spend it. If you want to get into cars, you got to have some compromise. Your friends might be going out and buying their Bape hoodies and their Spotter, whatever those pants are. That $250 shirt is going to cover your back the same way a $20 shirt will. And you could say the same thing about cars. They're going to get you from point A to point B, some more reliable than others and some quicker than others, but it's pretty much going to do all the same job. But something's got to give. And again, if you're not making a whole bunch of money, doesn't make sense to go get a $200 shirt or jacket or coat or whatever. It's just gonna cut into the money that you could be putting towards this. And finally, the last point I wanna make is if you're gonna save more money, you can also try to make more money. Pick up a side hustle, do Instacart. If you wanna do Uber, probably not one of these cars, but do it in your daily. There's ways to make a comfortable extra $500 a month to help offset some of the expenses that you have with this and in your other parts of life. I know this isn't normally a video I'd post, but this is kind of a topic I wanted to touch on. Hopefully some part of this video helps you guys out in getting your first car or even another car that you want. It's kind of how I went about doing it. Again, I'm not some financial guru or someone that makes a lot of money, so I felt like this is something I could relate to and speak on. But if it helped you out any bit, make sure you drop a like. And if you have any questions or concerns, drop a comment below. I'll try to help you out or answer any questions I can. The mod videos will be back shortly. Just make sure you subscribe for that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.